Tell me a bit about yourself, just as a human.
I don't know, just from the Shuswap area. Started playing hockey pretty young. And yeah, I like to do things away from hockey too, like to spend time with my family and friends and the outdoors. Yeah, that's about it. Pretty simple guy.
Okay, no, I get that. So how did you get into competitive hockey though?
So I've been skating since I was really young, and then I just kind of started playing hockey. And then San Bernard became a little bit too small of a place, I guess, for my age to play a high level of hockey. They only have Tier 2, so I went to Penticton and played at the hockey academy there for 2 years, grade 8 and grade 9. And then, had a good couple of years there. And then ended up going to Kamloops the next year to play midget there. And then, I guess in my second year midget, I only played half the season and then got called up to play with the San Bernard Silverbacks. And then, I got into the league at 16 years old. So it's been 4 years now I've been there.
And you were only with the Sents for 1 year then?
A year and a half.
Okay.
A year and a half, yeah.
Okay, cool. How would you describe the boys on your team, both in terms of as hockey players, but also just as people?
Yeah, very good. I mean, we're still young, so you mature a lot in a year, or I guess 6 to 7 months with a group of guys, so it's pretty cool. You know, I used to be that younger guy in the room and always asking, probably annoying the older guys, asking questions and stuff like that, but it's really cool now to be that older guy and see how much, the 17-year-olds mature in a year, which is pretty cool. And you spend so much time with the guys, more time than you spend with your family kind of thing. You're, practice in the morning and then stretch and workouts and bus trips and games and off-ice stuff. You're spending so much time with your teammates, so you get to know everyone really well, and it's pretty special. I mean, there's guys that I'll be in contact with for the rest of my life, and that's happened the last couple of years too, playing in San Bernard. So it's pretty special.
What are some of your favorite memories from your time with the Centennials?
Oh, geez, there's lots. There was one time last season where we beat West Kelowna in overtime in Merritt, and that was a pretty special game. It was at the end of the year. The barn was packed and it was super loud. And then obviously playoffs this year it was super cool seeing how many people were out supporting us, and everyone kind of knew it was our last dance in the league for playoffs. And everyone was really behind us, and that whole kind of stretch, that whole 3-week stretch of us preparing for playoffs and finding out our teams folding, and then the actual playoff run itself. It was bittersweet time for sure, but that was a pretty special time.
What were the Sents in your mind, best and worst games?
Like specific games, like who we played and when that was? Yeah,
and what happened in both the good and the bad?
Oh, jeez, man, I'd have to look at, our schedule, but I guess right off the top of my head, I think probably our worst game was in Cowichan this year. And it was a tough day. We traveled all day. We drove down there, took the ferry, and then bused to Cowichan and then played, which was a tough game for sure. And our coaches, they were both in Cowichan the year before that, and then they're with us playing their own team. So it would have been nice if we got a win for them. But the next night, actually, on the island, we played in Alberni, and I think at the time they were second in the Coastal Division. And we went in there that next night after losing to Cowichan, and we beat Alberni. So it was definitely nice to come back on the bus. It was a long bus trip, and it was nice to come back with a win against a really good team. So I don't know. I'd say that weekend that was a pretty bad game and a pretty good game that weekend. So I'll use that weekend for the examples.
Your lowest lows followed by your highest highs in the same weekend. That must have been pretty crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there's some lower lows and higher highs, but that's one weekend that had one of each.
In your mind, what were the factors that made those games so bad and so good? Like what factors caused those outcomes?
Well, I'll start with the good first. I think, It's the same, pretty much the same answer with every team. Whoever you ask is just when everyone's playing good, everyone is on the same page, everyone has the same goal. Like everyone is like, we're gonna pass the pucks here and we're gonna skate these routes and we're all gonna hit and we're all gonna do the right things. But when things start going bad, it's usually the same formula every time. It's this guy wants to toe drag at the blue line, this guy wants to hit, this guy doesn't want to hit, this guy, everyone's on a different page. And I mean, for any team, that's never a good thing. But near the end of the year, we definitely got better at being consistent, and everyone bought into the same plan.
How are you feeling now that everything's said and done with the BCHL and the transition going on now? How are you feeling?
I feel bad for I guess, the citizens of Merritt and everyone that has been involved for a long time, and especially our coaches too. They have to find new jobs, and our trainer. It's sad for sure. But I mean, we had a successful year. Odds were heavily stacked against us going into the year, but we did a really good job, and our coaching staff obviously too, and our management. But yeah, it's bittersweet. I mean, guys are gonna have new opportunities to play in different places, but I mean, I've been playing games in Merritt since I started playing hockey tournaments when I was 6 years old, kind of thing. So I've always had a soft spot for Merritt. So it's sad, seeing them not there anymore. But I mean, new beginnings and fresh starts aren't always a bad thing. So I think for Merritt in a new league, and then players on new teams and coaches coaching new teams, I think there's positives to come for sure.
So on that note, how are you overall feeling about the transition? Like, where do you see this going?
For Merritt, I guess the team and organization in town, or?
Yeah. Like the Merritt Centennials, where do you see that going under the KIJHL?
I mean, I think it'll be a good thing. Chase, BC, they have a KIJHL team, which is 10 minutes from my house. I mean, it's a little bit smaller than Merritt, but it's kind of the same vibe. The main strip kind of has everything you need, and I think it'll be good. I think the smaller town market for the Sens will be a good thing. I mean, teams like, Penticton, who just have loads of money flowing in and a bigger population, and, West Kelowna too, and those coastal teams, island teams it's just so hard for Merritt to keep up in the market. I mean, you can't blame them, can't blame management. It's just a logistics thing that is really hard to overcome, and I mean, it was overcame to get us to play this year. But I mean, at a certain point, it catches up, and it just doesn't work anymore. But to answer your question, I think it'll be a good thing. I think maybe it'll be less stress on trying to make things work, and just, playing in the KI will be a good thing, I think.
Focus on the hockey.
Exactly, yeah. Not all the other stuff, and yeah.
Cool. So on that note, what message do you have for your fans that are still in Merritt?
Oh, I mean, nothing really changes. I mean, same rink, same team name, same logo, just a different league, and there's going to be new players obviously next year that are going to be playing for Merritt in the KI there. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think much changes from a fan's standpoint. I think just keep up the support that is greatly appreciated, and I'm hoping that new batch of players will appreciate Merritt like the players on our team this year did. Just be grateful for everything you get and everyone that supports you, and do whatever you can to give back to that.
I like that. Very, very positive, forward thinking. So what's the next move for you now then?
So I'm going to be playing in Victoria next year for the Grizzlies. I was part of a trade that happened in January. So after the season, I found out that I was the future considerations in the trade that was done in January to Victoria. So yeah, I'm going to be heading there sometime in August, and getting things going with the Grizzlies.
Cool stuff. Is there anything that you'd like to add, Aidan?
I think I maybe had a little bit more appreciation for Merritt than some of the other guys, and that's not dissing them at all, but they're coming from places like Boston and Ottawa and places in Europe and Nashville and stuff, so they don't really see too many of those small towns. I mean, I grew up in a small town, that's smaller than Merritt. So yeah, I have a lot of appreciation for Merritt, and I always have. I'm super grateful that I was able to play there for a year and a bit and be able to captain the last team that played in the BCHL, and yeah, I made lots of great connections in Merritt, lifelong connections, and made some great friends. And yeah, I'm just super thankful for my time there. And yeah, everything happens for a reason.
I always like to end my interviews, regardless of the subject, with this type of question. What is a fun fact about your time in the Centennials? Any fun fact? There's no right or wrong answer to this.
Oh, geez. Fun fact. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I guess some things that the fans and other people might not know is that we had a lot of guitar players on our team this year.
Oh, wow.
I've been playing for probably 6 years now. We had a lot of guys this year that wanted to learn how to play guitar, so we went over to one of the billets houses one or two nights a week, and we'd have jam sessions and, you know, teach the guys how to play guitar and stuff. So that was pretty cool.
That's crazy. Wait, electric or acoustic?
Both. More so acoustic though.
Yo, you guys should do like OG Centennials band or something. Like bring it back, but instead of hockey sticks, you guys got guitars.
Exactly. That would be funny.